Greetings to my team of 144, all Starseeds, Lightworkers, and Wayshowers. It is 7/29/2019, 11:07 a.m. the 7-11. We got the 29 and the 29, which is an 11:11 gateway, 11:11 portal. There's so many codes and energies coming in today. I'm going to try and be as lucid and linear and clear as possible. But we are being bombarded now. Another full gateway opened yesterday with many intense things coming into the matrix. The divine goddess broke through. The goddess with the rainbow hair penetrated the barrier, broke on through, and now the vessel is in a state of annihilation. Total annihilation is liberation. I just spent over an hour Qigong, Neigong practices, and it was like a second. That's how intense these energies are. 11:09 to 9:11. We're heading into 11:11 on the 11:11 portal. There were many strange things manifesting in the realm yesterday. Many intense energies. My brother and I were together, and we were a witness to it. And at one point he said several people from our past were just manifesting out of nowhere. People we haven't seen in years and years. It was like one after another. And there were these crazy synchronicities. These people were linked together too. I mean, one of them was one of my best buddies for years, and I haven't seen for 16 years. It was like he just walked out of the emptiness. And it was like a second hadn't even passed since the last time I saw him. It's just the matrix revealing itself. This dream, this illusion is totally revealing itself now. And these energies I know are very intense and can be very uncomfortable. But we're transitioning through this to the best of our ability. It's crazy, crazy, crazy. Now 11:11 and the 11:11. I want to explain a concept that might be confusing some people. One thing I've been seeing several people, which I'm going to address now, that talked about posting in the comments below my video when the transmission starts. Like, hey, the transmission didn't start till, 11 minutes and 11 seconds. And it's what I tell people, the transmission begins when I hit record. Not to be arrogant or egotistical. The second I hit record, I step aside and let the witness come through, let the Tao come through. Now, some people might resonate more with the transmissions that I read. Some people resonate more with the stories I tell. That's why I do both. I try to do both in every recording that I do. I try to appeal to everyone, I know I can't please everyone, but I do my best here. Because I know some people say that I just ramble on, but there's a reason, there's a deeper meaning to everything that I transmit, every word I say, every code that comes through. I speak from the divine source that's within me that transmits to the divine source within you. Now, if there's too many filters or it doesn't resonate with the internal map of reality, it might sound like gibberish or ignorance or stupidity. But it's all up to you. I'm not attached to anything. I'm not attached to people's perceptions. I don't care what anyone thinks. That's how I'm able to do these every day without hindrance, without anyone being able to stop me, because it's all a big cosmic joke. But we are all players on this world stage. So do your best, playa, and play on. Just don't take anything too seriously, even our feelings, our thoughts. Those are the biggest jokes of them all. Now, this concept of good versus evil, I saw someone comment or post about that, trying to bash a channeler that said evil exists only in the mind of man. That's because they didn't understand it, and their fear is controlling their perception. If they really took that as a koan and meditated on it for hours and hours, they would come to the realization of the truth of that statement. And this was also put forth, this concept, by one of the great illumined masters, and he was a Christian teacher. His name was Dr. Walter Russell, and in The Secret of Light, I put the links in the description below the video. The Secret of Light, he talks about that evil exists only in the mind of man, and he explains it in a very lucid, clear way that you really contemplate it or meditate on it, you would realize that there's no evil star, there's no evil planet, there's no evil bug, no evil bird, no evil bush, no evil blade of grass. Somehow the mind of man thinks it's more important than everything else, so it creates this concept of being evil. And I'm not saying that humans don't do any bad things. Of course, hurting children or violence or whatever is not something that should be practiced, we can say. We should live from our heart and look at all beings as pure awareness. But in the grand scheme of things, in the bigger picture, because this manifestation is temporary, it's an illusion, it's what the great masters would call Maya, the illusion that it's not even real. Only love is real, truth is real. That which is beyond the concepts is real. That which the concepts point to is reality. And this concept of being awakened, I have people ask me all the time, someone the other day, how many people are awakened, or what do you experience as this awakening process? And I try to explain this way, like people think that being red-pilled means that you're awakened. Now there's different levels of awakening. And yes, those that realize that we are in this simulation, this matrix, may be more awake than someone that is totally trapped in the matrix, that won't even look at anything outside the box or outside their belief system. That person that realizes that this is some kind of illusion is one step. There's many levels to awakening, and then there's full awakening, which is what is called rainbow body. Some people think because they read David Icke or do this or that or meditate that they're a fully awakened master. And yes, in a sense that's true. All beings are perfectly awakened Buddhas in their true sense. But that mind, that pure mind, the original mind, is converted to the three hells. So until you wake up to who you truly are, an infinite multidimensional being, and you awaken all the codes within your field, within the avatar, and attain full consciousness, rainbow body, the body disappears. So if you still see the body there, you're back in the matrix, you're still in the simulation. Now you can bring that rainbow body back, what our Sifu calls gold dragon body. Now I know this isn't going to make sense to a lot of people, but to the handful of people out there that this is in a trigger, an awakening process, that is why my guides are having me transmit this to you now. Our Sifu calls returnable rainbow body, which in our lineage and in some of the Taoist spiritual practices or philosophies, it's called gold dragon body, where you convert physical matter to light, the alchemy, lead to gold. You can return with that consciousness. So you can be in this world but not of this world. And that is a much higher awakening than just realizing. See, the Zen masters, they'll say that most people do not attain Satori or Nirvana or awakening while they're sitting in meditation contemplating their navel. It is usually more in times outside the meditation hall. And no one knows what will trigger that Satori or awakening, but there's many stories of it. If you read the Zen books on the ancient teachings and the koans are usually when a disciple had an awakening, that it would be, for instance, the Zen master will question the student, and they'll give an answer, and then they'll hit him in the head with a bamboo stick, and when that impact happens, it triggers an awakening. Now that awakening is a specific code and frequency within the field, within the DNA, that triggers at that precise moment, and no one knows when that moment is or what will cause that. And some people say that's not true, that means there's no free will. And in a sense, it depends on what you mean free will, depends on what you mean by awakening. We have to be very specific and clear on what that means before we can explain the results. So when we say free will, the free will could be in the creation of the story that you are living out? Was it created before you came into this vessel? Do you create it as you go along? Is it manipulated, or does everything that happens to you in this realm, is it already programmed into your DNA? And you're just living out that sequence. You're living out that freedom. So if you were meant to awaken, if you were meant to attain Satori, if you were meant to attain Rainbow Body, that would be in that code. That would be in your DNA. That would be in your energy body, whatever you want to call the codes that are within the sacred geometry, because your vessel itself, even though it is like our Zen masters will say, one Zen master I train with, he would call it a skin bag or a bag of bones, only because it's temporary. We're carrying around this field of energy that looks and feels like skin, that has bones and blood and muscle within it. Some people call it a skin suit. And what does the skin contain? Every code, every frequency of our DNA. Our bodies are sacred geometry. They're the golden mean. They are the Fibonacci sequence. All codes are contained within the body, within the vessel, within the avatar. And we're transmitting out into the field the code that has been programmed into this vessel, into this avatar. It is now 11:22, 11:22. The infinite multiverse is within you. We just chose to live out this specific pattern, this specific path, these certain frequencies to expand consciousness, to expand awareness from that still point, through that void, through the nothingness, manifesting the sound, the light, the frequencies, as we're living out the code of the Creator Source, Divine Light, Divine Life. So everything is important and nothing is important. That is the paradox. Emptiness is form and form is emptiness. The paradox is that we live in a free will universe while living out a certain code. So it depends on where the perception is focused. If you're focusing on the free will that is encoded within the DNA, or if you're just living out the mundane patterns that were programmed. And that's what the Taoist masters came to the conclusion through the I Ching, through the 64 code, that this concept of fate, that everything is written in stone, but once you wake up from the matrix fully, that doesn't mean just knowing you're in the matrix, but that means having a foot in both worlds, in the physical and non-physical. That's why some masters will say you have to die before you die, go through the death process to transcend this matrix. It is a little death. It's a form of dying to the false self, the false ego, letting go of the false matrix, as we manifest our true light, our true self, through the pure awareness, without hindrance and without conflict. Because all things are in perfect harmony. It's just sometimes the mind gets in the way. The mind causes the conflict. And Zen Master Benkai would say that all beings are born perfectly awakened Buddhas. Just that pure awareness is converted to the three hells, which is the frightened animal, the hungry ghost, and the angry demon. Those things which cause suffering to the vessel, to the mind, to the body. Then that is all part of the false matrix, the false self. And I brought up the concept of this evil, this concept of evil, only because people have been presenting certain things, such as that certain people that I've been transmitting are evil, or certain concepts that I have been transmitting are evil. Now, I just want to say to the people that might believe that, because many people are misled, it's like they're getting this information from other people, not from their self or their higher guides. Now, I've had people claim that I'm a heathen or a reptilian shapeshifter too, and that's their perception. They can believe whatever they want to believe, and that is the free will, is that you can believe whatever you want to believe. But what I say is just listen to the message. If it's transmitting love, peace, joy, then it is of the source. Now, if there's something that doesn't resonate with you, just let it go. I'm doing my best to transmit to as many consciousnesses in this realm, this higher light, this higher source, these higher concepts to at least at a minimum get as many people on the path of enlightenment awakening as possible to help uplift all of humanity and help transform this realm into the heaven on earth that we desire, that we deserve, and that is the new earth. And we are the way showers and the love workers that are bringing our highest codes, our highest light, our highest life into this realm. Today's linear transmission, thank you for bearing with me this far. So for the linear transmission, even though people might perceive it as non-linear, the 8-8 Lion's Gate is open. The veil between the physical and spiritual worlds is thinning. And this is from Conscious Reminder, from consciousreminder.com. Sirius, the mysterious. Every year, the stars bless us with their tremendous energy on the 8th of August. This is called the Lion's Gate, an infinite empowerment wait for those who step through this gate on 8-8. August 8th sees Sirius, the brightest star in the sky, rising to visibility on the horizon, moments before the sunrise. Sirius is known for granting powers of wealth, devotion, honor, passion, and potent creative talent. Ancient Egyptians believed the rise of Sirius to be directly related to the rise of their Nile River. The river nourished their land and sustained life. The Lion's Gate is the entrance to accelerated ascension, causing major shifting on every level. We are the ones creating our reality, but with this gate opening, things move faster as the energy intensifies. So if you use this gateway, it will magnify your efforts as well as help you with the energy to reach fruition. How numerology interprets the 8. Numerology says the number 8 is the embodiment of equalization and balance in all realms. Alignment and harmony are brought by the changes and shifts which the number 8 causes. Peace and success await you if you can let go of unbalanced objects under the influence of 8-8. Gives us the inspiration for far-reaching ideas, financial security, achievement, leadership, and ambition. It is no wonder that the symbol of infinity is the number 8 lying on its side, signifying immortality and limitless power. Our DNA structure also mirrors the number, and the number mirrors our DNA in the fact that it stores codes for us to access during times like the opening of the Lion's Gate. The Lion's Gate opening on the 8th day of the 8th month activates the power of 8-8. The Lion's Roar. As intense as the energy of the Lion's Gate is, we also have the vitality of the sun infused in it. The first half of August has the sun shining on the zodiac of Leo, the sun child. Pride, purpose, and expression of life are the works of Leo. When you step through the Lion's Gate, you get to experience the divinity inside you and embody it. The sun residing in the center of the solar system and Leo, the king of the jungle, are both ideals of the self-centeredness and self-importance. The god of light represents our spirit center. Leo, being the ruler of the heart, teaches us to lead, motivate, and live from our hearts. Leo gives us fortified life force to move ahead. The courageous ones among us who can cross the entrance of the Lion's Gate will be invited to the divine alignment. It gives us access to our true potential, which will help us shine. Those born under the Leo sign resonate more deeply with this energy than the rest, unlocking the doorway into their own mysteries. The connection with the third chakra, the solar plexus chakra, which is the energy center of our personal powers, is associated with Leo and the sun. The opening of the Lion's Gate on 8-8 is our chance to amplify the powers and use them to ascend. If your solar plexus chakra is balanced, you will have greater confidence, self-control, as well as willpower. The cycle of manifestation and prosperity are directly linked to it. This upcoming energy portal can be used by those struggling financially. During this time, your thoughts are directed towards abundance, and you can easily access the flow of resources. Thus we can see that the upcoming Lion's Gate on August 8th is a whirlwind of intense power, and you need to engage in it with positivity. The energy from the solar plexus can be triggering issues related to authority and make you question your purpose in this life. This overactive energy can turn you bossy and aggressive, so be careful. Any unrestrained power, including solar, can become volatile if you do not remember to act from the heart. You need to balance the powers of the sun with the generosity of the heart and love of Leo. Do not be afraid of the power surging through you this August, and listen to your heart. The higher powers will guide you. And this is from ConsciousReminder.com. Here's a quick quote from Christine Day. Let go of fear. Choose to let go and open up past the illusion of fear. Fear itself cannot harm you. So allow your awareness to move beyond the fear within your heart. All is in hand in every moment. Don't allow the illusion to block your joy. And that's what it's all about. Living in joy, living in the heart, seeking the kingdom of heaven within, the peace within, the love within. Today we have from the Dream Spell Journey by Volom Votan and Balon Ilk, Nahua Olin Corpus Prophecticum Quetzalcoatl, the legacy of White Solar Wind, Volum Votan. Today's Kin 17, self-existing Earth. 4 Earth is equivalent to the Mexica sign of Nahua Olin, 4 Earth, a relevant inscription on the center of the Mexican sunstone, otherwise known as Aztec calendar. According to the decoding of the Aztec prophecy of Nahua Olin by Jose Arguelles, Volum Votan, on the day 4 Earth, Nahua Olin, the 5th sun, 4 Earth will end and the coming 6th sun of solar galactic consciousness will dawn. Today's Kin 17 is completing 27 Zolkin, 27 galactic spins, since the fulfillment of this Nawal Olin prophecy and since the passage from the 5th to the 6th sun on May 5th, 2000, May 5th, coded 5-5, NS 1.12.11.4, Kin 17, 4 Earth. The Shaking Earth, Nawa Olin, which features the extraordinary planetary lineup, is from the 260 postulates of the dynamics of time. 911, or 9.11, the lineup of all the planets except Earth on the other side of the Sun, Spectral Moon 4, Red Self-Existing Earth, May 5th, 2000, provides a collective telepathic test for the activation of the electromagnetic polar flux tube regulators. The object is the creation of a telepathic field of magnetic resistance to stabilize the planetary poles. Kin 17, Red Self-Existing Earth. I define in order to evolve. Measuring synchronicity, I seal the matrix of navigation. With the self-existing tone of form, I am guided by the power of space. Harmonic 5, Resonant Matrix, Self-Regulate, Universal Fire of Attunement. So as we transition into Time is Art, Time is Love, we are manifesting the new earth through our desires, our passions. I know at times the passions of the heart may feel uncomfortable to the body, to the nervous system, may feel at times of anxiety. There are times that we just have to push on through, go through and through and through until we break on through. We are still in the process of Operation Breakthrough. There will be no doubts when you have your breakthrough to the higher worlds, to the higher realms, to your higher self. Until then, keep walking your path with heart, beloved beings of light. Thank you everyone that has sent in their transmission for the blueprint to all starseeds. You can view these on primedisclosure.com/blueprint. Watch the first video that I created with the transmission from the Buddha mind and the blueprint for all starseeds, lightworkers, and way showers. And thank you all who are joining us on this Loveolution evolution. I'd also like to thank everyone that are joining us on this mission for the Healing Retreat Center in Ecuador, South America. You can join us to raise funds for this endeavor with the CBD business, cbdpeaceoil.com. So thank you all for joining me today. Please leave a comment below this video on what you're experiencing through these Lion Gate energies, through these intense times, as we rise up the vortex higher and higher, all the way through and through and through until you break on through to the other shore, to the other side, to the infinite, multidimensional self, the self within self, the cycles within cycles, the dream within the dream. Namaste, brothers and sisters of the light. I love you all. It is now 11:44. Auspicious times ahead, beloved beings of light.